on the development of public policies relating to housing, employment, and the challenge of immigration and their incorporation into political programs and discussions. And so I would like to invite Jeanette to discuss the Common City here today. Please help me welcome her. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. As a Deputy Mayor of Barcelona City Council in the area of ecology, urban planning and mobility, I would like to thank you for invite me to take part in this symposium. I think so that is a good opportunity to share with all of you the challenge of our city, but in general, the cities, today and tomorrow. And I want to explain you a lot of things about our policies now, and I want to first of all explain you that, as you can see, we have brought in one area ecology, urban planning, and mobility together, and that's not big change. Ecology and the fight against climate change are values that we want to epitomize the things we do, that we want our urban planning or mobility policies to reflect, because we want a durable city, one that lasts. Today, I'm going to tell you about our city model, the common city. I agree with Albert that the city has a commons, but we need, the challenge we face is become a city in common too. To create a city by and for all of us, to go from being a broken city to a common city. For all of this, we need and we want to fight against inequality. We are aware that we are a city council and that not everything depends on us, and we can do it all. But we do have the capacity to intervene and to turn unfair situations around in our city and to expect in other cities these changes. We have big forgotten areas of the city where various forms of inequality are on the rise now, and not by change or fate, but because of a profound injustice. An increasingly rich city with neighborhoods that are becoming poorer. It's like a special injustice that we need to correct. I really like that the way that residents of my neighborhood, Snow Barry, put it. It's not poverty, it's an injustice. That, for example, family income in Trinitat Nova is as much as 7.2 times less than it is in Pedralbes, for example, or that 8 out of the 10 neighborhoods with the lowest income in the city belong to the No Barris district. For all of this, all areas in the City Council are working together on this to meet this challenge. Our area faces a double challenge, fighting against these inequalities and moving from urban planning for big events which foster speculation to urban planning for people. To give an example, if we look at the latest news, we can see that only 10% of flats for rent in the city are under 800 euros a month, while 3 out of every 4 available are over 1,000 euros a month. And the question I ask myself as a head of urban planning is what we can do to turn this situation around. And well, first of all, I need to explain that what we do now, what are we doing now, and what have we done so far with during this first year. Right from now, right from day one, we want to have a city for living in has been our top priority. Over a smart city and tourist city, which is what previous governments has prioritized. We don't deny that Barcelona is and will be a city with tourism. We live in Barcelona and we love it, and we understand why people want to come. And we want Barcelona to be a smart city too. Bring in mind that what make it smart, it is people, it's citizens, and not sensors only. We are in favor of new technologies, but as a means, not an end. And for example, even if we fill the city with sensors to measure the pollution, we need radical policies to fight with this pollution. We need these radical policies, not only the sensors. The sensors can offer information, but we need policies. We need change the culture and the models of the mobility of people, for example. And now our data today show that we have to consider neighborhoods as a main priority. How are we doing that? I will give you 6 examples for explain this priority. First of all, our priority, the most important priority of this government is to guarantee the right to a home, avoiding evictions and expanding the social housing stock. A smart city is not a city where there are 18 evictions in the No Barrio district every week. In 6 months, we have stopped 1,500 evictions. It's a lot. And the second example is sustainable mobility. We want to promote a change in the mobility model by encouraging the use of public transport and bicycle instead of private motor vehicles. How? To improve public transport, we are rolling out the new bus network, for example, or with the cycling strategy where we are expanding the kilometers of bike lines. We pass from 100 to 300, or connect one of the last neighborhoods of Barcelona, el barrio de la Marina, by metro, to correct this special injustice that I said before, among other measures. The third example, we are working to prevent the deaths of 3,500 people annually caused by car pollution. A clear example of this intention can be seen with the tramway connection along Avinguda Diagonal, which are connecting 2 tramways networks and 9 cities from metropolitan area, because we need to change the way people move with real alternative of public transport. The fourth example is bringing life to the streets. We want to create a superblocks project by reclaiming motor vehicle spaces for pedestrian and social uses. This is a new way to organize the public space and the streets. Last week, we started in neighborhood Poblenou with pilot project, and we start a big and intensive debate with neighborhoods about how to live this new public space. Another example, the 5th example, it's driving the energy transition. I said before, another of our priorities is the fight against climate change. For this, we need to generate more and more of our energy use from renewable energy sources, such as solar panels, for example. And for this, we achieve to proposing a big commitment from private and public sector with citizens. We must reduce our consumption and reduce our energy dependence, and to be self-sufficient, and to ensure that nobody is left without access to energy. And the last example I want to share with you is with balanced tourism. I want to share you some data to understand what I mean with balanced tourism. We have 30 million visitors in Barcelona every year. Tourist accommodation has increased by 20% in the last 3 years. 50% of all tourist accommodation is concentrated in 17% of the city. More than half the tourists who visit the city warn of overcrowding. In the last 4 years, the number of residents has been reduced by 45% in the Gothic quarter. This has created problems of gentrification and expulsion from more central neighborhoods with tourist apartments and replacing residential flats. That's why we have pushed for some steps. The first step was the special plan for tourist accommodation to regulate tourism. If we want to define the future of tourism in the city, we need to establish the rules now. We can wait. And second step is the counter plan against illegal tourist accommodation to protect available accommodation for citizens. These are the different examples that I want to share with you. And finally, we want to do this with a new model, producing policies together with citizens. This puts residents on equal footing with the other players when it comes to planning the city, to co-create with citizens, like Albert said before. If urban planning is to help build the right to the city, that same right must be something which empowers people. We defend urban planning as a tool for making the right to a city possible, to a city possible that builds an egalitarian city and intervenes to promote the quality of life of its residents. And it's very important recognizing the right of people to decide on their everyday lives is the best guarantee for moving towards the common city. And we want to do that with all of you. We are relying on you, and thank you for this opportunity to explain our policies and to share your opinions about these policies and about this challenge that we have in common. Thank you so much.